To recap what happened after you guys finished the library job of sorts, the reverse library heist, we spent a little bit of time heading back towards the apartments, I think. We spent a little time there, kind of had a little discussion about the interesting situation that happened throughout with Rose and Felix. We also had a little discussion about what the next plan should be, and you guys kind of realized you needed to go and talk to Garland. Making your way towards the Old Dominion, you found Latch and Garland and the usual crew there hanging out, and you proceeded to have your final negotiations with Garland, who gave you guys, 5.5 silver?
5.5 silver.
Yeah,
To
minus
Felix.
the money for the debt.
So he gave Felix 5.5 silver of the original 7, that was less his debt. And shortly thereafter, you guys heard a crash outside. Racing outside with Cad and Garland, you found out that the sign that you had all procured in episode 1 and 2 had fallen on top of Latch, crushing his skull beyond any type of repair that we're aware of. Cad quickly gave instructions telling Rose to rush inside, getting the first aid kit, telling Garland that he should probably scram, and then himself rushing off to find the closest Sharn watch. As they arrived, they started to cordon off the area, but some of you were able to notice things about the sign. You were able to smell things in the air. You even found a little coin left from Latch's little vest pocket.
Was he able to pick that up?
We're not in any of that conversation yet.
Yes, I was.
So after he finds the coin, you guys see Lucian sees a somewhat familiar, very large man who makes his way over and is given a lot of deference by the guards. He seems to have complete control of the situation, going over, inspecting the sign, and then noticing Tawny off in the corner down the alley, which some of you also noticed, and saw her in a very catatonic state. As he went to have a conversation with her, she didn't seem to respond to anything at all. But as he went to pick her up and lead her away, you did notice that she dropped a wrench. As he escorted her toward the Sharn Watch's flying coach, he put her down, and Lucian and Felix recognized a scar that seemed irritated and protruding from her garments up around her shoulder. As he got on the coach and led them away, that's pretty much where we're going to pick up right after this awesome intro. Welcome back. Intro always gets me pretty jazzed, even though I'm getting beaten the whole time. So, as I said, you guys had this little run-in where you had seen what appears to be some foul play in the death of the Old Dominion's owner and friend of yours, Latch. Now that the large gentleman has taken Tawny and left on the sky coach, the crowd starts to disperse as the rest of the Sharn's watch comes over to start collecting up the bits and pieces that will be used as evidence, the bits and pieces that will need to go to the morgue, and so on and so forth. You are left to your own devices as Cad seems to walk very numbly back into the Old Dominion. Teeson has arrived as part of the Sharn Watch detail that is helping to clean up the sign, and he is almost as stunned as the rest of you. And he kind of stumbles next to Laucian and says,
Hi, Teeson.
Hi. Do you think you can handle getting Latch to,
Just let me know when you're done taking the evidence.
it should only be a few minutes, but I'll give you a nod when we're done, and I guess I'll be by a little later to see what kind of information is available.
Okay.
He very somberly walks back towards the scene and just sort of stares down at his friend as the rest of the watch continues to clean up. They all seem to pay a lot of reverence to his state, regardless of the work that needs to be done.
I would like to read the lips of everyone I can see during the entire process. Just stand back and observe.
What you would gain from that is very similar to the whispers of different patrol watch that are taking in Teeson's demeanor and dismay. There doesn't seem to really even be any indication of more than that's a shame, this is ridiculous, this is terrible, oh, they should have taken better care with the sign, etc.
And I'm just question, are we all in the same room again together?
You guys are
Or-
still standing out in the alleyway.
And so is Rose still upstairs?
As far as I know, Rose is still upstairs.
I mean, I was heading out, so whenever I get there, I'll get there.
Okay, so you can make your way out.
I'm gonna probably need some help. It's gonna be heavy to move that, so if you two could help, that would be good.
Yeah.
Whatever needs moving, I guess. I'll help.
Not yet.
No.
Don't you think it's a little fishy now that people keep mysteriously dying here?
Well, how did that strange man arrive so quickly?
And that little girl, I know you saw her, you smelled her.
20?
Yeah,
She's always around.
I don't know, I don't like it.
She's covered in the same grease that was on the sign.
I'm gonna wander over to the alley. Did anybody pick up the wrench she dropped?
No, nobody has yet.
Doink.
You bend down to scoop it up and pocket it? Okay.
Felix. When none of the guards are looking, I just pull out the coin and I just show it to him, and I say, this fell from Leche's pocket. And then I put it back in mine. It's just, do you recognize it?
So what you see from this coin is a you see the bottom side of the coin has a caterpillar, and the reverse side of it has a butterfly. They appear to be all decorated in the style befitting to Sharn and that almost runic scroll work. And as you inspect it a little closer, you can start to identify that it seems to be made out of like almost like a nickel alloy, which is something that you are like you're familiar enough with your metals and whatnot from blacksmithing but you're not sure what else the alloy is mixed with. You can only really pick up the presence of nickel in it.
Is that rare in coinage?
To be nickel plated, yes.
Yeah.
Most coins are of the standard size and weight of the same copper crowns, silver sovereigns, gold gallifars. Even if they go by a different name, nickel is not something usually used for coins.
Okay. Do I recognize the sign as perhaps any of the noble houses or anything like that?
It is not a noble house.
No? That, lean in. That looks like a very unusual metal for a coin, but I don't recognize that. I don't know where that's from.
Zaylan, forgive me, I do not mean to be insensitive in the question, but is this coin in any way reflective of his construction? Was he made from these?
Would I know something like that? How would I know? I'm not an expert on all Warforged.
I had to ask.
Pretty sure not.
More the only one that noticed he was being a bit screwy before that happened.
Like, with the twitching?
Yeah.
That's an old war injury.
Or
It might have seemed more pronounced, but perhaps I am projecting. I do not know.
I mean, I don't know him at all, so.
Seems pretty normal to me.
Are members of the town guard investigating the like where the sign fell and where the ladder and things, like the balcony? Is anyone up there right now?
There are a couple of people. Like there's a pretty good number of of Sharn Watch swarming about.
Yes.
They are taking. There is somebody who is using Mage Hand to sketch out a very quick, like basically the equivalent of taking pictures of the scene.
I see.
From one space to another, flipping the pad over, moving to the next one, and the hand starts to scribble down the essential things. And you actually, while you guys are talking, you now notice that every now and then he seems to turn towards people that he thinks look interesting in the crowd, and whispers a couple of words, and the mage hand goes, and it starts to scribble down those of you that are standing about. In what you can assume looks like a very portrait-style shot.
I try to note the people he draws besides us, like if there's anyone else that leaps out to him, to see if I know this person. Or
There are various people in the crowd as best they can tell, but you guys are now behind, except for Lucian, who has made his way around to the back part of the alley. The rest of you guys are kind of back behind a ethereal kind of scene tape. And so when he turns to look at you guys, there's no way for you to really know that he's sketching.
When I get a chance, I'm gonna go back to be near the body and start studying it.
They'll hold you off for a little bit.
Yeah. 14.
With a 14, you don't.
I come out. Are you two standing next to each other or near each other?
Yeah, because we would have been talking about the coin.
Then I come right up in between you two. I am so tired. I think we need to go home. It's very depressing, and we should go somewhere else, not here, somewhere else. I gotta tell you a thing.
Yes, absolutely. We can go, but this, yes, yes.
You guys are tired. There's some crazy things happening. It's so exhausting.
I believe they've been conscripted to help with design.
No, the body.
We haven't been questioned yet, have we?
You've not been questioned.
If we leave now, it will look very strange. We need to be questioned by the authorities before we go.
Well, maybe I go inside and I hang out with Robert.
Yes.
Maybe you go inside with me.
Yes, okay. I will escort you to work.
That
It's
seems
a,
fine.
a normal day of work, yes.
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 So,
It's Friday.
I suppose the three of us are heading into the.
The
not
other,
like we're
because
going anywhere.
we were inside the establishment during the accident. We ran out like everyone else, so perhaps we could.
We wait inside
yeah.
where it's not so hot.
Yes.
Okay.
Such a hot night and shine. Ah.
So you guys all head back inside, and you see Cad standing over the bar. He's got like an inventory list of alcohols and other goods in front of him. And you don't notice per se the look on his face, but you do take in his countenance of being what seems to be very somber. And the bar is entirely empty, except for you specifically.
I drag these two into the back room. Excuse us, we're going to wait in the back. It's very sad and I feel faint.
Okay.
Sorry for your loss, Cad. I understand he was a friend.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna do the thing tonight.
Yeah, it's not a very good thing. Maybe we should have a shot in his honor.
Absolutely.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Yes.
I rush them to the back.
I'm like, did you not see the crime scene?
We're not going
Yes,
anywhere.
okay, yes.
Both of you could be a lot more subtle when doing these types of things. You don't need to drag us around.
It's very important that
I understand.
I still drag you.
Yeah.
Yes, I go.
I would like to go to a place not where Robert is.
You have no idea where he is.
Okay, good.
Let's go to your dressing room.
So I go to the dressing room, I close the door, I shove them in, I close the door, and my back to the door. I start taking all the things out of my boot pocket. Oh my goodness, so many things. There's so many. I don't know what these things.
Where did these come from?
There's the things. I look around for like see if anyone's in my room.
In the dressing room?
Then look.
No.
witnesses.
Okay, and there's these, and also, oh my goodness, I found these on the table. I had to take it. I know it's a very bad thing, but
What did you just
there's two pieces.
so I'm not a Dream Lily expert, but I have seen the residue of it. Does this look like the same stuff? Can I tell?
Roll me a nature check.
19.
You're reasonably certain that it looks the same.
I believe this is the same substance that killed the Kinko man, the Dream Lily.
Don't touch it. Put it down.
Um,
I've been sweating all over it.
No, are you okay? Tell me if you start to become fatigued.
Am I fatigued?
Lassian understands the function of the thing.
I found this later, and also this is on the back. It says Cocoon Sal, but it was torn, so I don't know what that means. And then the later, it says, okay, it says, and I get you both. Okay,
Yeah.
it says, I spoiled the urchin again in the rooms below my establishment. Her hair is of the oddest sunset. It reminds me of one of my new talent. She is likely scrounging for food among the supplies. I worry for her safety and that she'll make a mess of things. If I am able to coax her out, I will do as you suggest. Any orphan under the patronage of Lady Hart. Who's Lady Hart? I don't know.
I do not know.
Would certainly be better for it, doubly with your occasional care. Concurrently, other matters are on schedule. Hub has shifted to M. The Kanku is no longer functional. Traces removed. Nothing follows. L. You should hold. I don't want it.
Well,
Yes.
L is latch.
I
Who's
do,
Anne?
you know,
While this conversation is going on, I'd like to palm one of these up my sleeve.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I mean, are you attempting
11.
to keep it from us?
Hold on. 11?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Hamatio, you notice out of the corner of your eye that he has taken one of the vials and slid it up his sleeve and seems to be walking around like Spider-Man.
I just say, Felix,
Oh.
we know there are 5 vials. Yes, we should hide them, but...
Yeah, I'm hiding it on my sleeve. Do you think it's a good idea for us to be waving these around all over the place?
No, I have a protection.
Yes.
I hide it inside here.
It's true. She smuggled many things
Nobody's
this
going
way.
to check these things. They check your sleeve, they check your boots.
That's
Not going
true.
to check
He
mine.
said, we know they check the boots. You know this, yes.
You really think that they're not going to look for anything like this in there?
Not in mine.
Also, do you really want something like this spilling open onto
It's
you?
not. It's fine. It's close.
Yeah, I'm sure the Kanku felt that way too when he swallowed it.
I don't
And it
think
killed
he had
him.
one of these.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I don't know. You're trying to be sneaky.
Okay, well, while you
we
guys-
will revisit this, but I just do this lower room. Do we know of a lower room to this structure?
So, when you guys head into the back of the stage, the dressing room is like one of those long fashion dressing rooms. There are stairs that lead down to storage units below where different costumes and other articles are kept. There's probably somewhere in the 3 to 5 rooms area, but for the most part, it's kept pretty much off limits to anybody who is not Latch, Cad, and occasionally Robert. While you guys think about that, you 3 are outside. You've seen the 3 of them hustle into the Old Dominion. About 5-10 minutes goes by, and Thiessen somberly meanders over to you and says, "We've got the sign packed up on one of the carts, and we've cleaned up what we can. You can take it."
Okay. I've been studying the layout of him. I'm trying to memorize it so I can reproduce it later.
From a distance.
Yeah.
You did see that one of the officers was doing the sketch, and you know that you will have access to those later if you want.
Okay. Okay, I walk over towards him and start getting pieces together.
I walk over and start helping.
Well, what do you want us to do?
You grab those legs, and you grab those shoulders, and then we'll lift and start carrying it to the morgue.
We're gonna
We're just
carry
gonna
it all the way
carry
to the
him all the
morgue.
way?
Yeah. How else are you gonna get it there? That's why I needed help.
Okay. Alright,
Grudgingly, I'll pick it up.
let's go. Let's do this.
Are you lifting any part of it?
Tokenly keeping the middle up so it doesn't bow between the 2 of them, but yeah, not really effectively, no.
Okay, well then, the 2 of you give me strength checks. And
20!
oh, good.
No, that's good because I have 11.
11? Yeah. Okay. Lawson, give me one as well.
I'm helping. I got a 9.
Okay. So
Stretched before this?
as Zaylin moves towards the body, she grabs on to the knees, like right underneath the knees. You move over to the shoulders and you start to strain and get kind of leveraging your arms underneath, and you can see Lucien is just kind of like barely putting any weight like on his hands underneath the small of Latch's back. And Zaylin, watching you after a few minutes, just kind of like rolls, as best you can tell, rolls her eyes, basically just an exasperated expression on the human side of the face. You would not be able to tell anything happened on the Warforged side, but she just kind of and then slides underneath, putting him on top in a fireman's carry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then looks over to Lucian.
All right. I pick up any little pieces that are left. Okay, this way.
So as you guys start to make your way down the street, you can kind of see Grizz every now and then, like kind of like doing like trying to appear useful in the carrying of the thing, even though Zaylin has no type of not even faltering or in any portion of the step. Perhaps she's used to carrying corpses. As you guys make your way down towards the morgue, we will swing back over to the other surly three.
We should go downstairs and investigate while the club is empty now. Later, there will be too many eyes.
You're going to be fast.
Yes.
So what is it that you guys are going to investigate?
Down to the where.
So you want to go out to the street?
No,
No,
so
the
the
lower
girl was
area.
lower area of the building, like where this place that he's referring to, and the rooms below my establishment.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So as you guys make your way over towards the staircase, you take a look and you can see that Cad is actually now sitting on a stool, just completely just gone. He's not there. And you make your way to the stairs. As you get there, Felix stops at the top of the stairs, turns and looks back at Cad.
I'm gonna go pull up a stool, and I'm gonna go to Cad and grab a stool and put it down next
Okay.
to him.
So, as you guys reach the stairs, Felix starts to peel off. You guys kind of look up at him quizzically, and he just points over. And then, for a second or two longer, you see him move over, pulling up a chair and putting his hand on the top of Cad's shoulder. You two continue to make your way down the stairs, and as you get down, turning a little bit to your left, the door would lead it back under the stage, and it's locked.
I don't know what to do. We gotta go get the key.
I check around the door for anything obvious, like the key on the top of the door jamb or under a mat, like, you know, these simple things that people overlook.
Your passive investigation would probably put you in the... After you feel around a little bit, you would probably take a step back and think about the methodical nature in which Latch approaches every aspect of his life, and how it's very unlikely that he would put a key somewhere in case he forgot it. It would probably have a very specific home, if not on him himself.
Did you see keys in his office?
No, I wasn't looking for keys, so I did not see keys. But we could go up there.
I too will go to CAD. Perhaps you could look again in the office.
Okay.
Yes.
Turn around and just go.
Okay, so as you guys make your way up the stairs, you go to cross behind Cad. You peel off next to Felix, or on Cad's other side.
Roughly where is he relative? Because I don't want to, like, crowd him. Like,
Middle of the bar. He's sitting on this. Felix is closest to him, like basically on his left.
I actually try and maneuver where to look at me, he has to look away from where she's going. So if she's going that way...
So then you'd stay on Felix's side. So you're going to slide up kind of next to Felix on the bar, leaning in, not necessarily taking a stool. The two of you kind of nestle into that. You keep eye contact with Rose as she takes another glimpse and makes her way up the stairs towards the office. What are you two doing?
Giving kind of some somber pause before I sit down. Once I sit down, is he even registering that I'm there?
As you touch his shoulders, he does seem to tense for a second, and then clocks you out of the corner of his eyes, and he just goes back to. He kind of like tries to pick up the pencil, and when he goes to mark on the sheet, it's a very loose, almost just making scratches at nothing.
And the paper, kind of a cursory glance, this looks like some kind of...
It's an inventory.
Yeah. You can handle this later.
But it's gotta get, we gotta be done with it if we're gonna do it.
Sure. I can help you if you want, but
I
you
mean,
can take a moment.
I guess, I know that we gotta get it done if it's gonna be done.
Okay. We're not opening tonight. Well, you're not opening tonight. You said that. You can take a breath.
I mean, I guess, I'm not sure what else to do.
Cad, I do not wish to be indelicate, but I would like to find who did this to your friend.
You think it wasn't just an accident or something?
That doesn't look like an accident.
No. A brand new sign to fall in this way. No.
Well, I mean, it would either fall when it was really new or really old. I don't have I mean, it could have just been put up wrong.
If I could ask you just one question. The big-bellied man who came for Latch, had you seen him before?
No.
Is there anyone that you think would want to hurt him? Perhaps a competitor? Someone who wished to encroach upon the Old Dominion business?
No, there's a loose association of tavern owners. They're under Hauskalanda that usually keeps a lot of that stuff from being an issue. We've got the black on our sign as well. It's part of the entrance area there. No.
How long have you and Latch known each other?
Probably 4 or so years, maybe. It was after he'd suffered his injury and come back. You can see that even though he is very small for a half orc and his skin has that kind of yellowish feel, you can see that it's actually almost turning an orange at the red that is barely covered by this yellow, jaundice-looking exterior that he has. He doesn't seem to be really in a state to think about much else except for coming to grips with the terms of death.
Yeah.
Would I just ask one thing and then I will leave you to your drink? Now that Latch is no longer with us, who owns Old Dominion?
I don't know. I would imagine that we'll either keep doing what we're doing or we'll get shut down. Maybe they'll want to comb it for evidence if it is what you think it is. I don't know. I guess I'll need to go through his office. I should probably go do that. He starts to get up from the table or from the bar.
Ken,
And turn.
wait.
What?
I think you should sit down. I gesture like one below her shoulder, like something that isn't like crazy expensive kind of thing. Like, we should stop a moment and actually honor your friend.
For Latch.
As I said, you need to take a breath.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Can I assist by physically grabbing the bottle to assist him with it and put it down?
If you want to snatch a bottle, you can.
No,
Snatch
I mean
a bottle.
just physically, expressly to help.
But that's exactly. I mean, I don't assume you're palming it to take it home.
Nice.
Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
That would be a 17.
Okay. So he stops, kind of considers your words as Hamatio reaches over. He grabs one of the bottles. Roll me a d4.
See what kind of booze you
Yeah,
get.
we've got, got
There's
one down there.
There's one. 2.
2. You grab like kind of a mid-range bottle, and he looks at you and he goes, you know, I think you're probably right. And then he looks over at the bottle you've grabbed and he goes, that's it? That's what you value him at? And he makes his way around the bar, snatching the bottle from you as he goes back around, putting it back under. And then he turns around, ducks down, opens a cabinet, and pulls out a uncorked bottle with a gold exterior. Sets it down on the bar. As he does, you can see the gilding around it seems to have some sort of regal purpose. You might know. You probably won't. So your DC is going to be a good bit higher. Give me history checks.
13.
7.
Okay.
Don't recognize it.
So neither of you recognize the emblems that adorn the gilding of the bottle, or that are gilded basically into this gold filigree. And it does strike you that there is a lot of black and red to it, but nothing that you can make out. Rose, you've made your way up to the office. You are scanning about for a set of keys.
First, I look by the door because people like to leave it by the door, and like the key place. So first, I go look over there, and then if it's not there, then I go to the desk.
Okay. So as you walk in, you glance over, see the first aid kit that was on the wall from last time. You make your way, scanning around the room. You can see that opposite of the big windows, almost next to that grand couch that was stationed so perfectly over the red and gold rugs, you can see to the left of that what looks like a very fancy corkboard, where there are a bunch of keys that are screwed into the wall on little hooks. About 12.
Okay, so I've gone in here a lot, and I've seen. How long have I worked here? Like, I'm just asking, like, would I have seen him use keys before? Are there certain keys for certain doors on certain floors? Like,
So you've been working here for probably less than 6 months. You're not at the level at which you would know. And you would surmise that the reason none of the keys are labeled is because he has a pretty good memory for which keys do what.
okay, well, on my way over to that keyboard to look at it, I grabbed the first aid kit.
Okay.
So I look like I'm holding it, like that's why I'm here.
Okay.
And then I go and I'm looking at the keys. I'm looking for dark keys, dirty keys, something that might be not as, might have, when I was down in that lower area, was there grease, was there dirt, that specific, I'm just trying to be
Oh, the door?
investigative. Yeah.
That door that's down there? Roll me a... Roll me a wisdom history check. Are you proficient in history?
No.
Really? I thought that you were proficient in history.
Nope.
While you're-
She's got insight.
She does.
8.
So 8. Add your perception to it. So it's 10.
11.
11.
11. So, as you you kind of recall from the door, the handle had a very specific steel color, but more like it actually reminded you a lot of the Warforged base kind of color. It's not a gunmetal because there's no guns, but
Warforged metal.
yeah. But that kind of a grayish silver.
Then that's what I'm looking for.
So as you scan that, you see narrowing down your search to 4 keys.
I take them.
All 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You take down all
Put
4
them in
keys.
here.
More additions to the boob pocket.
And then I leave immediately with with the first aid kit.
Okay. As you walk by, as you come down to make your way by, you can see Cad uncork this bottle, and he's got 3 shot glasses that he's set out. He looks up to see you, and he goes, "Oh, Rose, you should come. You should come as well." And he grabs another shot glass and he pours another one out for you.
I say to her in Elvish, but I'm like emoting, like I'm amazed. I'm like, "Do you recognize the markings on this bottle?"
I look at the bottle.
Roll me a history check.
That is a 17.
Okay. You recognize that this bottle is clearly a vintage that would come from Karnath,
Oh.
but not. You're unable to place the emblems and seals beyond them having a specific regal tone. You do know that they are not the king's, but you don't know which noble house it may have come from.
Oh, this is a hair. It's very good. I'm allergic to this one though. The Carnati, there's something in their grapes that make me break out in hives, but I will toast with you.
Oh,
I will
yes.
toast with you.
You see him kind of furrow his brow and okay, and lifts it up and he has clink glasses. You all take the drink.
Here, you can have mine.
He reaches over and he says, "That's all right, I'll get that one."
Okay.
And he takes the shot as well.
One for Lech.
Oh right, one for Latch. He just takes the bottle and pours it around on the bar and puts it back down. And you can see him kind of like going through the motions in his head where he's like, maybe it's the bone meal that gets added to it.
I don't know. I'm gonna go sit down. Can you please take me to go sit down?
And we swing back over to the morgue.
So we're still carrying. I'm still carrying.
You guys have arrived at the morgue.
Okay.
He's opening the door to let you in. You turn sideways. Grizz still kind of trying to maneuver to keep Latch from banging into things, although there's no effort on your part because it's flawless. He leads you in, shows you the large table, and even though you did a very good job with the roll in the last one, in order to start setting him down, you're going to need to give me another check.
Which,
Can I assist?
for which one?
Yeah, we'll say you're assisting, so you can do it as an advantage. This is
Strength.
still a strength check.
20! Oh my god!
It's a Warforged thing.
You
It's a
want more for
Warforged thing.
advantage? Just
Yeah. Roll that again.
Maybe next time.
As you let as you very gently kind of like slide him off your shoulder, you're even very quick and turn to catch his caven skull. And then you slide him down atop the hard, heavy slab for the autopsies.
I'd like to, look for any unusual, do I notice anything unusual about his body as I said
That's
it?
different from a Warforged?
Or something related to the act, the
You notice his head is caved in.
nothing else out of the
He's
ordinary.
wearing a vest. That's not ordinary for a Warforged.
But that's it.
You can try and inspect him if you would like to.
I would like to.
Go for it.
What do I?
Investigation.
19.
19,
Oh, wait,
great.
Plus, what was it?
Investigation +2.
21.
Great. So scouring up and down his body, you don't really notice anything that isn't part of a standard Warforge makeup. But roll me an Arcana check, because I don't think he technically falls under medicine per se.
14.
14. So you do notice that it seems as though perhaps the plating on his head, it is caved and sunken in, but it also appears to have like it was somewhat softer than typically would be of his size model. When you go back and forth scanning over it, you recognize this model as being a phalanx. You were an envoy, but this model is the type that was originally created as a frontline fighter. After the war, a lot of them went into enforcing or becoming mercenaries. So it is an odd idea that he came back to do this, but you do know that typically when these are created, they're very, very durable and could probably withstand another Warforge falling on them, let alone just a sign.
Do you see that? Look at his head. Any Warforged of that model would have metal way stronger than that.
I've seen a couple Warforged take many more hits than that.
You don't think that's unusual?
I don't think that's unusual.
And everything else that's going on? What do you think about all this?
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Well, I mean, you're the
I didn't want to
expert.
interrupt. You seem to be
Oh, no,
having a
no,
good
no.
time there. I just thought I'd let you practice.
I mean, you're the expert. That's all that I know, but
Okay. Good. It's a good eye, though.
I just don't like what's going on in this situation. I don't like that girl being there. I don't like...
All right. I had suspicions. I think somebody may have done something and used the sign to cover it up. But we'll find out. But while you guys wait here, I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my pay.
Fair enough.
I don't think it's been that amount of time yet.
It's week.
Friday.
Today is Friday. It's far,
Yeah.
so it's time for another payday.
Yes.
Was it
It is time to get paid again.
that fast?
Every Friday.
It's true. Cash rules everything in Sharp.
I'm like, do I need to get paid?
Wait,
Unless you had
I
changed
thought
it to
yours
Monday.
was bi-weekly.
No, it's weekly.
Okay, but yours is once a month on the second week because it's a military stipend and that's how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Also, when's the last time I got that? Something to.
Well, considering you just paid your rent, you probably have a week or so left before you would get it.
Okay.
But after that, I'll just come back and I will do an inspection of the body as well as I can.
What did you smell while you were sniffing around there?
There was there's a bit of grease on the sign and also on the little one. I think she had something to do with this.
She knows something, at least. At the
Yeah.
very least, she would know something.
What do you think they took her?
I don't know, but maybe after this we can go.
Is it another Arcana check to look at the body?
For you, it's going to be much simpler.
Okay.
For you, it's going to just be a standard medicine check.
Oh, okay. 21.
21. So as you scan up and down, you do note the weakness in the structure surrounding his skull plate, and you notice that there seems to be a good deal of scrape and trauma to his hands. And
Is it defensive trauma?
it doesn't seem to necessarily be that, more just that, like, working man's hands.
Gotcha.
But as if he had messed up something here or there and snapped something that needed maintenance. You can also see that there's, from that area, there does seem to be a decent amount of fluid, but no grease.
The seemingly different kind of metal on his cranium, is that due to repair from his previous injury, or does it look like it's been weakened by something like acid or something along those lines?
It does not necessarily look as though it has been chemically affected in that sort of a specific way.
But is it anywhere near where the repair was that he was constantly dealing with? Like, does it look like it was smashed before and then replaced with substandard parts?
It, now an Arcana check.
Okay.
Because you're not familiar with how Warforged are specifically built.
That would be 22.
22. So, you feel as though there is enough of a question in your mind that you might want to seek out somebody of House Kenneth to further that hunch.
I will make sure to keep the vests and all the other little items that are still on him in a single container.
Okay. So you basically peel off all the worldly possessions that are on him and put them in there.
Yep. Put them in the box like you do with all the other corpses.
Okay, you find, I mean, you've got his vest, you find a couple of other coins, some sovereigns and some coppers in his vest pocket, but that really kind of seems to be it, except for a key. Is that you pocketing the key, or are you, okay? So of the things that were in his vest, what are you keeping? What are you putting there?
I'm gonna leave the coins and everything else with the vests in there, but the key I'm gonna lift.
Okay.
The key was haunted.
Guess I'm rolling in character there.
Roll initiative. It's a mimic.
Back in, well, yes, if you need to use the restroom, you can go use the restroom now. I was going to come back to you guys, but you're welcome to get up if you want to.
It's a bio break. When you got to go, you got to go.
We could, it's 8. We could just call it now for a quick break so that everybody can do that kind of a thing.
Sorry, we just both had to go.
No, it's fine. You don't actually have to ask. You can just get up and go.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
No, I know. If you're not here for a thing, then I just move to somebody else. So we'll take a quick break now so everybody can vacate their bowels, and then we will return to the bowels of Sharn. And maybe there will be some nice rain to cool us down, because it is pretty sweltering under these lights today.
Yes.
Yes. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. I thank you for all the subs that I see flying in. Everybody remember to re-up with their Twitch Prime accounts. And the bits, we see there's some new bits coming in.
We love bits.
And also, I just realized that it's my 12-month anniversary of being on the channel. So I'm going to think of a nice, fun little phrase to throw in there as well. But we will be back from break in, we'll call it 8:15. Ours is 10 minutes enough for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you shortly. Welcome back. I'm sure that this time the music is done appropriately faded, and we have this awesome intro, and we're gonna start talking about a raffle. Oh, what is this?
It looks like pieces to a raffle.
You want to hold that? Somebody want to hold that over there?
I figure that those are miniatures.
You figure that they're figures?
Nice.
Make an investigation.
And now
check.
they've been blessed by Kai.
I'm dying to know if you make it through this episode.
No.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Only as much as Kyle intends them.
We're gonna smuggle the Dream Lily in the box. That's our new racket.
Do not
It's funny
sell.
when some kid picks it up, opens it.
Yep.
No, never send glitter to anyone in the mail. It's just
just
a mean
mean.
thing.
Or do.
Glitter never leaves.
Never
I hate
leave.
it. I hate it so much.
That sounds like a horror, like a
Little girl horror movie.
yeah, like the My Little Pony horror movie.
Yeah.
Well, that
It's
should
just
be.
a little pony that's like in the closet,
Glitter?
like the eyes glow, and then
Yeah.
all they find is the glitter everywhere.
Well,
and then
instead
one
of-
day they wake up to find their daughter's missing, and there's just a pile of glitter in the
Or in
bed.
like D&D, instead of poison spray, you could just glitter spray.
Yeah, it's color spray.
Yeah.
color spray.
And glitter
Or
dust.
prismatic.
There's also
Yeah,
glitter
oh
dust.
yeah.
Glitter,
I was thinking more like a Goosebumps story where
That's what
Would that be
where
considered
it
a
kind of
condition?
creeps in as a
Glitter.
a thing.
Oh, I
like
see.
a blob,
Something in
right,
my
like a
eye.
shadow of glitter.
and then it turns people into glitter, and they just go.
Or it's just a great night in WeHo.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
And without further ado,
And we're back.
And we're back.
so
Yeah.
where we left off, our illustrious nobodies were walking about dealing with the issues that have arisen from the untimely death of their patron Latch, the owner of Old Dominion, where they have spent the grand majority of their time so far that isn't a library. And
Or a morgue.
or a morgue. And this half has made their way to the morgue and is investigating. This half is doing some detective work based off of a letter that was pilfered from Latch's desk. And we are thanking all the people that actually subbed again. We noticed there were more subs during the break.
Subs!
And as a very excited reward for that, we're going to be giving away a pair of features. So, figurines.
Folks, you're still in latch mode.
Featured figurines. I'm sorry that I don't have the capabilities. So, we're going to be giving those away. Type / raffle. And I believe in the very near future, the raffles will end up being more... by being a sub, you will actually get a much greater chance at winning the raffles.
They'll be weighted.
They're slightly more weighted, yes. I'm still working on exactly how that works because Moobot, Nightbot, Twitch giveaways, which one are we supposed to be using?
Too many
And
sciences.
there's so many things.
Coderone.
Coderone. So, that made me just think about like okay, so we will go ahead and get started. There is no rain cooling down the pavements here in the bowels of Shard. But we have gained quite a bit of information on this side, and now we return to the Old Dominion, where somebody has lifted 4 keys and then ignored taking a shot.
I didn't know it was polite.
You were polite. To make their way, I guess circumvented making a shot is the appropriate way to say it. Making your way back towards the doors that seem to be locked. What is your constitution modifier?
Ooh, 0.
0. What is your constitution modifier?
But
Both of you
Think about it.
make me constitution saving throws, you lightweights.
Bunch of lightweights around here.
Oh, the 18 rolled to a 5.
I'm gonna
so
get
that's a 5.
destroyed.
Oh, he got a 20.
Alright, so
Definitely. Very nice.
Dev no, magic the blessed dice.
Yes.
So, about 5-ish minutes afterwards, what? 5-ish minutes afterwards, you start to feel it. You start to get some interesting gurgling going on in your gut. And you realize it's been quite a long time since you've eaten anything. And that's really the last majorly fully coherent thought that you've had after it started to kind of make you feel a little nauseous.
Rose?
Yes.
Maybe you go ahead, I will stay here.
What?
I will catch up to you. I do not think the Carnetti...
You drank the Carnati thing.
Yes,
It's
I don't think
disgusting.
it agrees with me.
Fine.
Yes,
Okay,
you
I go
go.
directly, and I'm hurrying.
Okay, what are you doing, Felix?
I'm gonna stick around with him and kind of, contemplate the glass a little bit, like lick my lips. What is this?
That is a very old bottle of from Karnath. It's called the Necromancer's Wish. That specific blend is a very high-grained alcohol that spends a good bit of time distilling with bone meal. It gives it an earthy, almost living quality.
I can taste the notes. That's
For some people who don't quite appreciate it, it seems to make their stomach crawl.
It's very smooth.
Yes, it is.
I've enjoyed a few sort of like this, but nothing quite so distinct. This is incredible.
Did you want another?
I wouldn't presume, but I will continue to join you.
He pours you another one. He pours him another one. He goes to pour Himacho another one.
I still have to work to assist Rose.
Oh, you actually have a job? I thought you just came and hung out. I'm sorry. You can have this one on the house if you want.
You have it for me if you don't mind.
That would end up being like my fourth. I think I'm gonna call it quits after the third one here.
Good.
Okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, definitely fine. I'm going to go.
This restroom?
No, I'm going to see if Rose needs any help in the back.
You should go to the restroom first.
I will go to the restroom first.
If your stomach's crawling, that might be a good idea.
Yes.
Oh,
Just
okay.
splash the water on my face.
Right. Okay. So as you get up to take a step back from the bar,
Yep.
go ahead and roll me.
We all know what happens when you stand up. Yep.
Yep. And this is a disadvantage.
Oh, and disadvantage. I actually had a decent roll. Had a 13 and a 6. A 6.
And you can add your Constitution modifier to it.
Which is add a 0 to that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
me
Thank
get
you.
So
Appreciate
as you stand up, you make 6 steps,
Thank you.
and then you drop down to one knee, and you hear just.
I say apparently Latch meant much more to me than I thought he did. I'm overcome with emotion.
And Cat raises the other shot in your direction, clinks the glass with you, takes it, and he's soldiering on just fine.
Nice. I'm going to have a little bit of a sip and put it down. Shall we move him so he doesn't make a mess?
Is it Hamaji? Are you beset with grief, or are you really not feeling very well? It's okay. This is some potent stuff.
Please continue. Just give me a moment here. I will. Give
Do you want some water?
Water would be good. Yes.
Okay. So he like runs some water into a mug real fast and like moves around to the bar and kind of looks down in your eyes.
The hand and knees towards the bar.
No, he comes over to you like
okay,
squats
right.
because you're down on like one knee, like
Yeah.
with your arm on a table
Yeah,
and like a
like-
chair, like trying to. It's like the chair is shaking in your grasp, and so he like goes to hand it to you. Which hand are you going to let go to grab the mug?
Since I'm right-handed, I assume I would have the death grip for balance with my right hand, so I'm reaching
Okay.
for the left with the mug.
So you let go of the chair.
Yeah.
You reach over and you grab the mug. Roll me. Roll me a dexterity. This will be a. Actually, we'll just call this an athletics check. Because you're technically trying to grapple with the mug. And, of course, it's a disadvantage.
17 and 4. Okay, all right. 16.
Okay, so you reach out and grab the mug. And you just stare at the mug, willing it.
Yeah.
And as you go to drink it, you get 75% of it in your mouth. The rest of it down the front of you and on the floor.
I believe you were saying something about refined palate.
Maybe now's not the time, Felix. And he kind of like shoulders you a little bit and walks you to the door of the restroom. It's okay. We all take it pretty hard.
Yes, thank you. Such kindness on such a day.
Latch would be happy to know that you almost passed out. And he like kind of like takes his like undoes your arm, takes it, kind of like pushes the door open for you, and leads you into the restroom.
I'm just.
Yes. He closes the door behind you, turns around, looks at Felix, and goes, Rose,
Plunky.
roll me a d4.
1.
You got it.
Oh my god!
Hey.
Oh, good! Bloop! I go upstairs.
Down.
Damn.
Or are you going back up?
Oh, I'm back up to put the keys back.
Oh, so you went down, unlocked it, and you're gonna go back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go, and I'm just sad with and I just walk with the first aid kit, kind of staring at it, but sad. And I walk back to the office.
Cad just watches you walk. And then he comes back and meets your eyes again. He goes, I knew that it wouldn't do any good for Latch. I didn't expect her to, like, I just wanted her not to be a witness for it. I didn't think she'd hold on to it so tightly.
I'll check on her a little bit, I think.
Okay.
I think she's going to go put it away, so
All
we
right.
all handle grief differently.
That's fair. I'm going to go ahead and start to lock up.
Do you need a hand with anything?
At the moment, no, I think I'm okay. And you head back into the office, you drop you put all the keys back.
3 of them back.
All 3 of them back.
I keep the one from downstairs.
Keep the one for downstairs.
But the other 3 I put back on the board. But I do put the first aid kit back.
You do put which one?
The first aid kit back.
Okay. Do you keep any of the keys?
Yeah, the one for downstairs.
Okay. You put the rest of them back.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause that's a lot of missing keys.
Yeah. Gentlemen, does
I
anybody
do-
over there have an iPhone charger? I forgot that I didn't bring mine for the iPad.
You have a cable?
No. So while they're doing that, I still have some time. While they're doing that, you make your way back. You put away the keys and the extra first aid kit. Can you grab that from?
What does Hadamat do?
You take this one, Felix. And he goes to the door and starts to lock the door.
Hamatio is in the little boy's room for the time being. He's not feeling well.
Okay.
I'm sure he will be your shadow as soon as he feels able. Once
Yes.
again.
Yeah. And I just go behind the bar and I'm looking for anything on Darien.
As soon as you get, because Latch has the bar alphabetized from left to right, it's very easy for you to find a standard Ondarian wine that is literally just called Ondarian Valley.
It's in a jug.
It's got a screw top.
It's not a jug. It does have a screw top.
It's a strawberry flavor.
Exactly. Boxed on dairy.
I just grab a glass for myself, like a quarter of a glass. I'm a lady. And then I put the bottle back and I sit down next to Felix.
Okay, you grab the bottle, you start to pour it in there. You consider pouring in more, and you go, "I'm a lady," and you put it down. And then you sit next to Felix.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to get complicated.
It already is.
And we switch back over to you guys.
Okay.
So what did you roll on your check before? And I think I already gave you the information.
Yeah.
You guys are
Yeah.
basically...
Yeah, we're just cleaning up and heading back.
So let's assume that you guys have done the boring stuff.
Yes. We're gonna head back. You know, it's always a shame when you lose a Warforged. I mean, it's not like there are gonna be any more of you. Pretty much gonna go extinct, except for you're immortal. So at least you'll be around for a while. But I'm sure.
As long as
sure
I don't work at the Old Dominion.
Well, yeah. But Latch will be off to wherever you guys go. It's just the way things work.
Well, so now what's going to happen after we give him over?
They're probably gonna come and ask me some questions about what I found, and then they're gonna do some other stuff to catalog things, and then we'll just dispose of the remains. I mean, that's nobody. That's just
Hey,
stuff.
it's not a nobody. It's not just stuff.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
gone.
just stuff.
No, you're not. It's because you're alive, but that's not. They're gone.
Oh. It's just terrible.
It is.
Also, I don't like what's going on, and I don't know if I were Rose, I'd be kind of careful of being around that whole crowd, seeing as how she works there.
Yeah. They're pretty nice there, though. I like Cad. Teason's nice. Latch was really nice.
Latch was really nice.
Right, Grizz?
Meh.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right.
as you guys make your way back, you conclude that part of the conversation as you rise up the stairs, meeting Cad face to face. He can see you kind of through the little glass of the doors, and he stops locking it,
Hi, Cad.
opens it back up, lets you guys in, and then closes it and locks it. Hey, you missed the festivities.
Oh, there was a party?
Not really. I mean, we just had a drink.
Oh.
But yeah, there's a nice bottle on the bar. Careful, not like don't have an open flame near it, but you're welcome to have some if you'd like.
Maybe. You,
Okay.
you got things taken care of?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna open tonight.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I did some work. I gotta go back, though. I was just gonna come back and see if you need anything.
Like what?
I don't know. I don't know what you need. Do you need somebody to take care of stuff?
I don't think. I think we're okay for now. If you want to tell Thiessen that he probably doesn't need to come by tonight. That's probably fair.
No, yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
Let's go talk to the other guys. Let them know.
Yeah, we should see what they know either too.
Go over towards the stage or wherever.
At the bar.
I'll be on the way. Oh, they're at the bar.
The appropriate bar music. Mwah.
Thanks, Rudy.
Stop by the bar. So since you're not working, I'm assuming you guys are going home?
We're drinking,
Oh, yeah.
but I wouldn't. Be careful with that one. It's
No,
dangerous.
this is. Yeah, that's not
Oh,
actually
no.
out.
Yeah.
Shot glass size, like.
So you recognize the bottle as Karnath. You've never ever had it. You've only seen it in the very specific, like one specific location that was a one of the Karnathi army's necromancers, like their war mage kind of necromancers, also owned a distillery. And that's the only place you've ever seen that from. And obviously you would never have gotten any, because Karnath don't really consider Warforged to be creature, like real. They consider you guys to basically be on the same level as undead. So he would have shooed you away from anything, any curiosity that you showed during it.
I recognize this.
Yes.
Have you had any?
You want a cup?
I don't know. I guess I'll try because I've never been able to have any.
I'm gonna take Hermadio's empty and
Okay, so you
Pour
take a
one.
little shot glass, pour it on there, and hand it to her.
you should probably sip it.
It's the reason why
I
Harmatio's
take
not
it and
sitting
I
here.
just chug the whole thing.
Okay.
What is it?
Well, as a Warforged, you actually have advantage against poison.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And you really don't taste things so much.
Oh, I take that facial expression back.
But
Emote.
yeah, but it's okay. You could easily have seen other people do that and think that's what you're supposed to have done
I'm gonna go with that.
when you drink. So you take the shot back and you just kind of make the face, and then the face fades away, and you just kind of look at her and you just kind of give her like one of those. That's what I was supposed to do, right?
Follow up by saying smooth.
Smooth.
That's very good.
You're a natural.
And your constitution is actually like, I think, pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before you would even have to start rolling, you've got a few more of those that you can handle.
Cool.
The rest of you, do you want any?
Get that swill away from me.
That's not good.
Very, almost upset by just its presence.
Because it's Karnathi.
So,
You're missing out.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think
Wait.
so.
it's kind of happy? Oh, no.
Yeah, you don't want to drink that.
I don't really like those guys.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I happen
you.
to be one of those guys.
No, you are in Sharn. You're
There's
nice.
guys that do terrible things to the dead people. That's not nice. That's not right.
That's creepy.
Well, it's not like yeah.
Yeah, you're not one of those.
No.
They
What?
make good liquor though.
So, Cad's not around. What'd you guys do?
And with that, go ahead and make me another Constitution saving throw. This one is still at disadvantage.
Oh my
8.
god.
An 8. You say that and hear a.
Could somebody go and check on Harmatio, please?
Nope.
Not you. You stay with.
And make me another one. This one is actually going to be just flat.
Oh, man.
9.
You get up and you start to make your way to the door. You slide it open very weakly. And as soon as you make eye contact with the rest of them, you spin around. You guys see the door close and I heard another. Ow! Ow! Ow!
And I get it.
I'm okay.
Is Harmadio sick?
Like I said, it's a sipping drink.
Oh, it's this.
Yes.
I'm a little too interested in the humanness of this.
So you walk into the. You walk in. Okay. You walk into the over to the restroom, even though it and it clearly says men. Not that it matters for a Warforged, but it's got. And you just slide the door open. So now all of you can see Hermatio down on his knees
His shame.
into the trough, and he's like just kind of barely holding himself up there, and you guys see this through Zalen's legs, like just down on this shot right there, that and he turns a little bit and looks up at her, rubbing his mouth.
I look over to Rose, and I go, "You do know there's an antitoxin in the healing kits, right?" Okay.
Do I see Cad anywhere?
You don't. All you see, your vision is pretty blurry except for Zalen right now.
You
like-
okay? I see that and I pick it up.
You reach down to pick it up. Okay. And
Glad she read.
then you turn back to the trough. So you pick it up. You walk back outside.
I just go, Dream Lil. Dream Lil. Dream Lil.
And it starts to spatter across the floor.
Yeah, back to the.
You pick up the note before it gets anything on it, and you turn around and you start to walk back to the bar, quizzically inspecting the page. You see, everybody sees Zalen with it on the way back.
And I just kind of elbow to
It's
read
been
it.
very exciting. There's lots of things happening. I go,
Is that the dream that Hermatio was talking about?
we talk about it later.
You see Cad go. What was that?
Well, wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't there.
We
Yeah.
thought Cad
He
wasn't.
had locked the door. He was like dealing with
There's
stuff
no
in the front.
way that I would say anything
Okay.
if he was around.
So let me reiterate. He was at the front. He has not left the building or gone upstairs or anything like that. The last time you guys talked to him was him letting them in and then locking the door behind him.
Okay, so where is he now?
He's still on the main floor with you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
I just say, just drink. Come sit and drink. Sit and drink.
Let's sit and drink.
Sure.
It's very honorable very respectful. And then we go home because we're going to close. We go home.
I'm going
Yeah.
back to work, so I can't really drink. But
Cad walks back over to you guys and goes, "Yeah, I'll pour you another. This will be it's on the house if that's what you guys would like one before you go. I think it's fine."
Respectful. And then we gotta go pick him up. But I gotta need help. I can't pick him up. He's so big.
Oh,
I'll
is he?
He's not doing good.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
You
take-
should take him another cup of water.
listening to him, it shouldn't take long for that to go away. Should be getting out of there pretty quickly.
I'll take care of the wound. Go
Okay.
bring him one.
So you lead it back over. Now you can make your check with advantage, since he's helping you.
12.
You feel as though, even though your stomach is a little bit queasy, your brow is soaked with sweat, and even much of your clothing that is not from the heat outside. You are able to stumble back out, leaning heavily on Felix as you do.
Oh, great.
And you guys are all able to kind of sit down at a table and powwow. Cad corks the bottle, puts it back down in the cupboard, closing it, and says, I'm going to take care of a couple of things up in the office, and I'll let you guys out before I finish the thing. I'm probably only going to be about 15 minutes.
We're here if you need us.
Thanks. Enjoy the drinks.
The moment when I see him, does he go upstairs?
Yeah, he heads back up, and you guys can see up in, like, Latch has this very long, wide window to be able to look down over the entire club, and it's even parallel on the same floor as the gambling tables and whatnot would be. So even though it's not connected to that, it's very simple for him to, he can get a good look at pretty much the entire floor. So Cad's up there, but if he takes, 5 steps back, if he's back a couple of feet from the window, you can't even see into it. All you see is like the ornate gilding across the top of the roof of it, which is far better. Like Latch's office is so much nicer than the entire rest of the club that it's a little astounding.
I like to just be inside of it. As he's walking up the stairs, like to it, Felix, come with me, please.
So he's right now holding up Harmatio.
Sit.
Yes, go.
Come.
Yes.
Where are you going?
Just go. Just drink. We'll be back.
No one touch that.
Pointing
at my...
The letter we think the girl was living under the establishment.
So
Okay, so we'll pause there. You two are doing what?
I take him downstairs. I go through the door. Oh, we have to inspect things. Come on, we have 2 minutes.
Sure. So you guys are heading down. You open the door. You head back. You see a hallway with what you can count is 2 doors on each side and 1 down the length of it. You see just fine. You not so much. It is very dark in here, and you notice that the next set of what would be sconces are down past the first set of doors in between the first and second before you would get to the before you would get to the end, so about halfway down the hallway. And from here you can recognize those as being almost the standard ones that the mage rights would like.
Okay. Just come with me as much as you can.
Rose, I can't see a thing down here.
Or just leave the door open.
A scant amount of light comes in. It's going to be essentially dim light. Anything you look at, you're going to have a really hard time
I'm
recognizing.
exaggerating.
I know.
So
I'm giving you a bonus there because otherwise I would just say it's black.
Cool.
Just wait here. I'm gonna go look around.
Okay, so as you stand kind of at the doorway, holding the door, watching up and down, she starts to make her way into the hallway.
Mage rights usually have to cast, like, the cantrip to light those, don't they?
Right, there's a continual flame cantrip that they would use to cast it and move to the next one.
So there are no buttons, it would be more like a wand or something. Alright, fair enough.
I'm quickly looking around to see if there was any signs of this little girl, or if there are any other signs. Just taking it all in.
Also, you can barely make out that that's what they are from where you are because of the dim light. So you're looking around for any notice of a girl?
Just remnants of somebody's like hiding out in here. Just
the hallway looks very well, like it all looks well maintained, regularly pathed up and down. One of the doors says wardrobe, the other 2 of them say storage, one of them says green, and the farthest one in the back is missing its placard.
I go to that one. And I go to open it.
And the door's locked.
I try my 1 key.
Does not work.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Are you trying any of the other doors as you make your way
That's
back?
why I'm on the way back.
Okay, so after you click on that one shudders a little bit under your jiggling, you move back. All the other doors seem to be open. The green one looks like it is not quite as fancy as Latch's office, but a very fancy, bless you, a very fancy green room
Bless you.
that is clearly used for somebody of a higher caliber performer. The storage room, 2 of the storage rooms, both sides, have a good amount of like boxes and one of them seems to be a little bit emptier than the other and seems not to really have any, the first one you go into has liquor cages, it has stacks of different things, and there's even like an area where you can see there is a cooling unit, kind of like, but much smaller, kind of like the ones that you saw in the food court, much smaller, and then you can see that somewhere nearby in one of the darker areas of the room, there's kind of like a meat section with they're all salted and being kept in the cool of this very much stone foundation room. The next one, the second storage room that you go to, there seems to be like crates and boxes and stuff like that, but it also seems like a good deal of it. You get the sense that a lot has been taken out recently. And then as you make your way, and that's just at a glance, and then as you make your way to the wardroom, you start to notice like an entire, like really a huge room that is just rack, and then one long rack that just says, Roberts, keep hands off. And you notice like some of the very interesting headdresses and whatnot that Robert's wardrobe on the nights when he is peacocking about the bar. They all seem to be lined up right there for his perusing at any time.
Cool. So when I am at the very furthest door, the one I can't open, I do look at the keyhole, like the knob part, to see if it looks similar to the one.
Give me an investigation check.
That is a 12.
Okay, so as you go to reach around it and start to move it back and forth, you notice there's not actually a keyhole on that door. Yet, on the back of it, the back of the handle, there seems to be little shifting plates, maybe like some sort of combination.
A mystery. Okay, I go back. Okay, let's go. Come on, let's go.
All right. Did you close the other doors?
Yes, I close all the doors and then I lock this one, but I keep the key.
Okay. So you lock it, you keep the key, you head on your way out.
And I go like this.
You tousle Felix's hair and climb up.
Go along with it.
And you guys make your way back up to the bar. You were, whilst they were gone, you were trying to whisper something?
So again, as far as I can tell, I realize I'm not 100%, but as far as Cad's nowhere around.
Cad is up in the office.
Right. I also take the coin out and I put it on the table and I slide it towards you. Because I don't want to drop this. It came from lunch.
As he takes his finger off it, you can see there's like basically a little nickel-plated butterfly coin.
I guess this is what that cocoon the letter was referencing.
Very smart, Lucian. Cocoon sal. Does the words mean anything else to you? Can I hit the water?
You continue to drink water.
Put your arms up. It'll help.
Okay, fine. I go up to the office to get him, like...
No, this is while you guys were down there.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
why
okay.
you're
Yeah, right. I say, Rose found this letter in the Dream Lily in Leche's office. So we were going to investigate underneath. But the liquor did not agree with me.
So I guess he was using the Dream Lily in order to pay for things.
Do you know this woman that is referred to in the letter?
Lady.
Lady Hart, do these names mean anything?
Not that I remember. I can look at some notes at home, maybe.
Unfortunately, I don't think we can go to the library to check, huh?
No, at home.
You don't have the humor. Oh, I blame myself, yes.
Oh,
So, as you see him go up, knowing that half of your group, or actually none of your group has seen this letter and knows anything about it yet, do you want to read it out loud to them? In a hushed tone, obviously, so Kat
Yes.
doesn't hear.
Yes.
she showed it to me. But
So I've showed it to them while all
Do you
this
want to
is-
read it out? Because there's
Oh.
people that have joined us that don't remember it from last
Yes,
week.
I will read it again. I spoiled the urchin again in the rooms below my establishment. Her hair is of the oddest sunset. It reminds me of one of my new talent. She's likely scrounging for food among the supplies. I worry for her safety and that she'll make a mess of things. If I'm able to coax her out, I will do as you suggest. Any orphan under the patronage of Lady Hart will certainly be better for it. Doubly will your occasional care. Concurrently, other matters are on schedule. Hub has shifted to M. What's this?
The Kinku?
The Kinku is no longer functional. Traces removed. Nothing follows. L.
So those of you that have spent time in the military know that nothing follows is a very typical way to finish a transmission so that people know that there's no more transmission.
End of line.
Right.
Transmission
Some
ends.
people think that it's one of the things where you go like over and out. that's not necessarily the easiest thing to understand when there's a bunch of loud noises, so usually nothing follows is what we go to in those types of situations. So it implies that, to you specifically, this would imply that the situation is a bit more grand than a standard transmission or communication, especially because you know that a Warforged would be very specific about each thing that they're doing based on the context. Does that say spotted or spoiled the child up the top?
Spoiled is what we got.
Spoiled.
That's what it looked like.
We lost
on
the
the
original
record.
to spotted.
Yeah, so
Spotted.
it was spotted, if that makes any more sense to anybody.
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
I've,
Very
it's-
different letter.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when I'm saying that, like, when I'm trying to make sure that you guys understand that the things that are in there are very specifically latch, I didn't want spoiled to bring on some sort of connotation that it doesn't have.
Sure.
Yes.
Because it did.
I figured.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, how many ways could I
Write it on
spoil
there.
a child in a way like
Right.
like?
I say, Felix and Rose have gone to investigate, but when we went to look, the door was locked. How could the child be gaining access to a locked lower area of a globe? She's too young to enter.
Didn't you find a key on the latch?
Yeah, I found a key.
You think that's a key down there?
No.
Why do you say so?
Why would he keep a key down there on him?
Why would he keep a key to anything on him unless it was important?
Wouldn't it be like the key to the safe?
Rose said before when we were at home, the safe was the combination, not the key.
Oh.
Perhaps show her the
Maybe it
key
is.
when she comes back.
Okay.
Hold on to
Oh.
that coin. Don't lose it.
Actually, now that I think about it, we probably want to give the key back to the bar.
We do not want to give the key back to the bar.
We do.
No, we
They
do
know
not.
what they know he had the key.
No, they do not know what he dropped. They do not know what is on his person, what the police have, what is in the street, what we have. No, Lucian, not yet. Soon, my friend,
They,
soon.
They do. But we could have Felix make a copy.
I'm not here.
Yeah.
We could have Felix make a copy.
Yes, I say we will return the key later. Yes,
Didn't
absolutely.
say give it to him right now,
Yes.
but we do need to give it back.
So you guys are walking up right as this conversation is going on about the key.
Right when she walks up, I say, Lucian found a key on latch. Perhaps it opens the door.
What door?
I got that. It's all handled. We're fine. I'll go get him an antitoxin.
You know about fixing things. We should talk.
I'm gonna go get 2 more glasses of water, one for myself, one for him.
Sure.
Again, keep
Okay.
him topped up.
And you're gonna go upstairs.
Yes.
Okay, so you go up to the office and you just see sitting at Latch's desk, bawling into his hands, Cad.
I run to him and I put my arm around him.
He starts a little bit as he didn't realize that you were there. Rose, yeah.
It's okay.
No, I know it is. I know it's
We
fine.
all loved him. He's our caretaker.
Oh, yeah. He was just did a lot of good for the community. I don't know that anybody's gonna step up and help, and
You.
I can't do it. I don't have his fortitude. I don't like kids. I don't have any
You have
money.
us.
I don't.
We
you,
can figure this out.
You don't like kids either.
Well, but Robert does. Here's the thing.
Do you really want to loose Robert on a bunch of kids?
I don't understand, but here's the thing. We are a family here. He was holding us together. Now we have to hold each other together.
So what does that even mean?
That means that we have to keep soldiering on. We have to figure out, how to run this place, and we have to do it together.
Run the Old Dominion?
Yes. This is our home. This is the only home I've had in, since I got here. And you guys have been so good to me, and if I can do anything to repay, we only have each other.
I don't know if there's any. We haven't even heard yet from the Charn Watch. We don't know if they're gonna shut it down.
Well, until they shut us down, we have to keep the show going. The show must go on.
We don't have-
I have a job to do. I got paid. And I'm going to sing, and people need this place.
Rose, we don't know who owns it. We don't have paperwork on that. We don't have anything.
Okay, well, we can look. There's papers everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
We'll work on it together, okay? We'll sort this out. We'll find out.
I don't know how long we can go with being closed and still be able to open again.
Well, nobody else knows that he's gone, so...
You saw the crowd?
That's fine. We just do what we gotta do to keep this place open. People need to be... This needs to happen, okay? Look, I will go through the paperwork with you.
Okay. You know what, I just should...
I'll come back in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
You're not alone.
No, it's okay. I just need to be alone.
Okay, I gotta go get some antitoxin for Harmatio, because don't give him any more of that. It's bad.
As you scan around, you see that the kit is open on his desk and 2 of the vials are empty.
The antitoxin? Is there any left? Yeah. Okay. Well, he's gonna pay for this one. Maybe he'll learn a lesson. You take care. I'll see you in the morning, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right.
So, you guys make it back downstairs. You, as you're on your way back to the door, he's just like, there might be some behind the bar, but I'll be down in a minute and let you guys out. Sorry, I'll just get myself composed.
Okay. Zaylen, can you help me find some stuff behind the bar?
Sure. Yes, I will help you.
Okay. So the 2 of you go back behind the bar and look for stuff. Go ahead and roll.
What are you doing?
Okay.
So we gotta run this place, or we gotta find out who owns the place. We're gonna come back in the morning and help. We're gonna help him go through the paperwork. We're all friends. We gotta help each other out. I have a job. I don't want to lose my job.
Okay.
We're also looking for antitoxin under here for Harmatio. But also, if you see anything under here, like what? We're just looking around. There's a lot of fishy things.
There's so many fishy things. I don't like this place at all.
It's not so bad.
I'm coming to enjoy it quite a bit, actually.
Okay, so we start looking.
Yep. Go ahead and you can make me an investigation check at advantage.
Hot damn! Okay. That feels good. So 15, 16, 17.
17. You managed to find a vial that is 3/4 full. Pull it out, pull the stopper off, hand it
I'm
to
like,
Harmatio.
wait, these days I've had bad luck with these strange liquids tonight.
And then we fight over it until I get it in his mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
a normal Friday at our house.
So, now you guys have a couple of minutes before he makes his way downstairs to show you out. Is there anything else you guys would like to do?
I say, do I feel better after this, or does it like...
Slightly.
Okay, I just
it's
say...
it's like taking Tums.
Sure.
You're gonna need a little while.
There's a door downstairs, and then it's got a key, but it doesn't have a key. It's like there's like a locking mechanism. It has got a thing. It's doors. It's downstairs.
Is it the place that's in the letter?
Yes. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. But we don't have much time.
Was it letters or numbers?
It's like there's no key. You have to. It's like a mechanism. It's like a code or something.
What's the
Is
door
it
made
not
of?
this? I don't think it's the key, my friend.
I don't know.
I don't think it's the key.
Do you
You don't need a key. Stop it. Put it away.
Well, who do you
I was gonna give it to Felix so we can make
do
a
you think
copy.
maybe
Oh.
Yeah.
do you think maybe Felix would help us get into the room?
It's not that. It uses the finger code.
Why don't we just break the door?
Or we can break the
Or
door.
we could break the door. That's the second option
Oh,
later.
Felix just got the key?
Yes.
Roll me perception.
All right. I move that out of the way.
This might not go well. Oh,
It
went
went
better than I
well!
thought it would. 13.
You notice on this key that there is a very tiny emblem. Go ahead and continue doing what you're doing. Let me double check what the emblem is, because I did not expect you to get your hands on it.
I just say, I know this is a terrible thing to say, but in my line of work, oftentimes I start with who gains the most from a crime. And unfortunately, the person who gained the most from Latch's death is Cad.
No.
Yes.
No.
He inherited this entire club now.
No, he doesn't know who owns it. Someone
he
else
told
owns it.
you he doesn't
Stop
know who
talking.
owns it.
Listen
Like
to me.
get a DM screen that's the size of
Yeah.
Listen to me. I found something news.
Yes.
We're going to come back in the morning and go through all the paperwork upstairs.
Okay.
We're going to help him find out who owns this place, and then we're going to help him run it, okay?
May I say, for a very large man, you cannot handle your liquor.
Big stomachs come in all sizes, but
I am a man of words, not a man of cups.
I still think it's Lady Hart who's gonna get the most because she's not taking any of the orphans that work away from her doing the crime.
You said
That's
you
why-
did not know who Lady Hart was.
I don't,
Then how do you know about orphans?
because it literally says in the letter that it's read. Tawny's under the protection of Lady Hart, so that means she's working for her doing crimes in the streets. So Lance
It's
wanted
true.
to rescue her, so he's going to take her, and then they were going to take care of her, and then M was going, whoever that is going to take care of
Stop
her.
Breathe.
talking.
Well, you would ask.
Am I breaking a door?
No.
Yes. Well,
You sure?
You can later.
We can come
No,
back
no.
and break the door.
Cad's going to let us out the front door. You don't have to break that one.
No, the door breaking can wait, I think.
Have
We don't
any-
have much time.
Let's stop talking about breaking the doors.
But yeah, I have a key to downstairs, so later we can come back and go downstairs.
yeah.
But I would like to go in the back room and look for Robert.
I don't think he's here.
He's not there.
We'd have found him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He's not exactly.
When do you think would be a good time to come back?
Here.
I don't know, but I feel like we should look around before he comes down. Like, there's a whole club here, and we've just been sitting at the bar this whole time.
Well, let's go.
Maybe put those files someplace safe so
No
they don't
way.
get hurt.
Oh, she got a boot pocket.
She's got the boot pocket of holding.
Oh, you
lots of
can't
pockets.
see how many we have. We
Yeah,
never
right.
told you how
That's
many
true.
we
No,
I
have.
got lots
Say.
of pockets.
I was like, I'm going to stay put if you won't want to find out.
No, we probably should get going.
We
here
should
soon.
go.
But I figure I'll put that someplace safe so you guys can go.
Can I make my way up the stairs?
Toward what?
Towards where Cat is.
He wants to be alone.
As you so you get up to start making your way towards the thing. You notice that he seems to be looking up towards the stairs, trying. As you go to take the first couple of steps, roll me a Constitution check.
Oh, man.
The change in elevation makes your stomach gurgle, and you start to feel a movement south, and you
this place.
stop yourself.
Yes.
We hate the place.
I hate this
Let's go
place.
home,
Yes,
okay?
home. Yes, fine. Do not lose the key or the letter.
Okay, so you recognize a
I gave
small.
you the coin.
You recognize a small, very, very tiny manticore on the key. And Kyle knows everything, so he probably knows what I'm doing.
My character doesn't.
All right, so you guys are making your way. You as you start to come, like take that step, and you rethink it, and Rose comes to your aid. You can see Cad very sullenly go lock the door and start to head down. He turns around and he's like, "Oh, sorry, it took so long. I was I was letting you out. Sorry." And he walks down and kind of not nudges by you guys, but you slowly move out of his way as he does. Not making eye contact with any of you guys. He goes and unlocks the door and just holds it open for you. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. We'll be back in the morning to help.
Let's make it let's make it after the weekend. I think I'm gonna need to not be here for a minute. See you then.
All right.
And he ushers you all out, steps out with you, locks the door, starts to walk towards the opening of the alley and out into the street, stops, gives you a little nod. His eyes drift to the spot where there's still a good amount of that glass now shimmering still in the little drapes of moonbeam, looking very much like Sybaris's belt, which is now starting to make its little twinkles across the sky. And then he turns and walks off.
You should tail him to work out where he lives, just in case.
The He's quite smart.
If it's okay.
I mean, let me check my schedule. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
I lean in this time and I say, "You're following the half-orc. You're clear on this from the last time.
Don't be
remember?"
mean.
Oh, yes.
You're the
I'm
one
pretty
I,
clear on how
you're the one
terrible you
I'm
smell.
concerned about being clear on things right now.
That's why I'm not
be
following
honest.
him. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
See you guys at home.
Okay.
Have a good night, Lucian.
Do I know where Robert lives?
Roll me percentile. 75 or 76 and above says you do.
On the way to the morgue, I'm gonna swing by Teeson's area.
Nope.
Just let him know.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him get like kind of far enough away so he knows I'm not trailing him, and then covertly trail him.
Okay. Roll me survival at advantage, since you are right there.
It's just you haven't said it.
Yes!
Well,
That's a much better roll.
20. So
There
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
So you're able to keep you're able to tail him. You're able to keep a pretty good distance from him, and you notice him kind of make his way a little deeper into the interior of the city, and then get on one of the lifts that's heading up. When he does, you can see him, like, he basically takes off his jacket right as he's getting on the lift, and he turns it inside out, and you can see that it's actually a much nicer looking jacket. It's got kind of like that little quilted cushioning to it, but the interior of the jacket is actually much nicer, whereas the part that he puts back on is almost like, not leather, but it's like a much stronger, more durable material. So he puts it on the other way, the insulation on the inside, keeping him warm, or actually just giving him ventilation in different ways. And the exterior of the jacket now looks much nicer as he gets on the lift, heading up to the more expensive parts of town. Do you wish to follow him farther?
the only way up is the lift, right?
Yeah, either that or a sky coach.
Pretty obvious, right? If
Possibly. I mean, you could wait for it to come back down and then see if you can get a hold of his scent again as you get up to the top. But it is the city. It's going to be tough.
got nothing better to do. Sure, I'll try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you go on the same one with him or the next one?
The next one. I'll let him go first.
Okay, so as you go to get on, you see him... you go to get on after the lift has already made its way up and come back down. A bunch of people get off. You make your way on and you kind of start to look around for anything that might tell you that he's there. Unfortunately, it's kind of like an elevator, so there's not a whole lot there. About 10 minutes go by to get you up to the top. And as you do, you can see on the path basically going out, you've risen up about maybe 2 levels, and the guards there, their outfits, their uniforms are really nice, and they even look. They actually remind you of the uniform that the large man was wearing earlier, but they don't have the chainmail underneath like he did. So you see them, and they both glance at each other and glance at you. And then you can see them kind of step in front of you to the exit part of the lift. Is there something we can help you with?
I pushed the wrong button. I shouldn't be up here. I guess
I'll just push the button to go back down.
Oh yeah, there's no buttons. There's somebody that's manning it. I probably should have told you that he was looking at you oddly at the same time, but regardless of the fact, you when you go to take a step off, they stop you. They say, and you kind of just basically, oh my bad, I didn't see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just sort of play it off like I accidentally showed up here.
Have a good night.
yeah, sure. Roll.
And you see them, they don't turn around and go back to their posts, per se, but they do kind of like stop and start, you can hear them kind of laughing and talking about like the other night as they're right there, and every now and then they're glancing back over you, and you can pick it up out of the corner of your eye as well. But you do notice one of them look you up and down and kind of snicker at the other buddy. And then you ride the lift back down, and the rest of you, while he is on the lift on the way down, what are you doing?
Lucian.
I'm at work.
Oh, well, before you go.
Okay.
Because this all seems real time. I look at the letter again and I say, it says the hub is shifted to M. Perhaps they mean the morgue? Remember, these strange men were working with the King Command's body at the morgue when we saw them the first time.
Or Melashan.
Who is this Melashan?
Only the head of the library that we were trying to sneak the book under?
Yeah, I thought her name was the Teeny she was called.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
that's
her
a
nickname.
Oh,
Finitini. Her last name's Finitini.
Yes.
It's Teeny.
is she in the same line of work that Garland is in?
Oh, yeah, she keeps the books.
Yes. She's the bookie. She's the money, he's the muscle.
Well, he's more like the dealer. He got some good deals.
That too.
So complicated.
Yes, perhaps we should save this knot for the street. After when you return from work, we will discuss.
Let's go back to home.
How many bells are we at?
It is getting late. The sun has. You guys pulled the library heist earlier today, the reverse heist. Earlier today, made your way back to. You probably showed up around like 5 or 6 bells to the establishment. Everything that's happened would probably take you to somewhere around like 8 or 9 bells. Laucian might also be a little late on his way back to the morgue, but they did see him when he dropped off his stuff and he did the thing.
My
So
cover is I went back to the scene to pick up any bits and pieces that were
yeah, I would assume that you're not in trouble.
Yeah.
My darling, if you're looking for Robert, Ian should be getting off work about now. Perhaps you could ask him.
Okay.
I should not know, but you can.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So what does everybody want to do?
I guess I head back to the apartment, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get back to you when things happen because I have something for you in the on the way back. Cool.
I head back with Rose.
I'm going
Where's
to the
Rose
library.
going?
I'm going to the library.
You're gonna stop by the library on the way back? Okay.
I trail, like about a block behind, because I don't want Ian to see me, especially not with her.
Okay, Felix.
Felix will excuse himself. I'm going to check up a couple of these names.
Where are you going?
I'm actually wondering, is this about a good time for gambling houses to be open?
They would probably start. If not, some of them being around all day.
Beginning of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably like the Greyhound tracks where it's probably always somewhat open.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that what you want to go do?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you going anywhere first? Or are you just going there?
I think I might pick one that's a little how far away is the my friend Paul?
Paulie?
I think Paulie is.
Oh, Paul lives in your apartment building.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know what kind of hours he keeps?
He is one of those conspiracy theorists that has hours open, you never know with him. You do know that he does write for your favorite publication.
Yep.
But outside of that, he's typically only hammering those out on deadline days.
Alright.
There. Otherwise, he's hot-footing around being his own little amateur gumshoe for this conspiracy. Or he's at home trying to theorize how the conspiracy might function.
Great. Does he like gambling as well, or?
You can swing by to see if he would be interested to see you.
Yes.
To go with you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'll invite him on it.
All right, so you make your way back to the Wicket Lawn. You pass by your apartment, heading towards the end of the hall that would actually be the front of the building. When you guys go in, you usually go into the back staircase, make your way up, and then walk into the thing. So you head all the way down to what would be a street view of the Wicket Lawn, and as you pass your door, you notice that there's a note on it.
Oh.
Do you stop and get it now, or do you go see Polly?
I'm gonna look around. Is there anyone else around?
You don't see anyone around.
I'm gonna snatch the note.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you snatch the note. We'll just go ahead and play out you walking down. You go see Polly before you read the thing.
All right.
As you knock on the door, you hear like a kind of a low grumble and some hooves thumping from one side to the other before you knock, and you hear like kind of this like harumph that feels like the weight of the world sitting down into one of those chairs that has a little ball rock on it. And you know from being inside that it's this one of those like wooden framed ones. As you do, you knock on the door, and he goes, "It's open."
All right. Open it up.
All right,
On
so
inside.
as you open it up, as soon as you open, there's a cloven tip tap that draws your eyes to the ground beneath the hulking minotaur who's hunched over this tiny desk. Your gaze drifts over the apartment that sits almost entirely in neglect, reminding you of another one of your compatriots' apartments that you've seen somewhat recently. And the floor appears to be littered with the slivered remains of different publications and clippings of public records that have been hacked into ribbons. A complex webbing of red yarn darts from one side of the apartment room to the next and spiders across 3 separate walls, weaving between the cramped scatter of open periodicals and manila folders. You silently gauge the environment and wonder how he doesn't pull all of these down every time he moves back and forth with the size of his horns. Little snort, he crumples up another piece of paper and tosses it. The hollow clack snaps your attention to the waste tin that more resembles an orchard basket of apple-shaped vellum.
Right.
The creature's nostrils flare as it adjusts his suspenders over his white button-down, and he tilts his spectacles down. Says, "Felix?"
Hey, Paulie. I can see you've cleaned up in here a little bit.
You joshing me again?
A little. How are you doing?
Things have been a little better. He starts to lean back on that little ball thing a little bit, and as he does, he kind of jolts forward. Been interesting, and he kind of spins it and looks out across the web, and he's like, "I added another layer."
How's that going?
Well, obviously, Bo isn't gonna get back sooner than I finish this, but I've got too many other deadlines.
Sure. You look fairly busy, but do you have time to hit the town a little bit? It is the weekend after all.
I did just get paid. I suppose I could do a couple hours away.
Yeah.
Where are you thinking?
Oh, one of the usual haunts, I think. Maybe the Dirty Mermaid. They usually have pretty good odds.
Oh, you want to go gambling?
Yeah.
I'll watch you back.
Right.
Okay. Did you pay off your debt with Garland?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. All handled.
I don't want to get some kids coming after me or anything like that with those
no.
glass knife shank things.
Oh, is he still doing that? I wasn't aware.
I don't know.
That's all rumors and hearsay, I'm sure.
Right.
Yes.
So, the Dirty Mermaid it is.
Yes.
And the two of you start to head out. You just pocket the note, slide it in somewhere safe so he doesn't see it for the time being. The rest of you, let's see. You are trailing. So on your way back, you see. You start to make your way back to the thing. You see the avian outline of Larry sitting on a box. Hi, how is it? Grid. And he goes and he like pulls into like under one of the back pockets that's behind, like kind of like suits his wing. And he just reaches back and Grizz.
How's it going, Larry?
What's happening? What have you been up to? What have you been keeping yourself busy with? Sorry, I'm still wetting the whistle.
Oh, met some people and there's some things going on. I guess I don't know. Keeps me busy. Something to do. I don't know.
But did you find a calling yet? Did you find a job?
Sorta.
You were a pretty good scout, from what I remember. Not that you liked it much, but you were pretty good. I would bet that there are people that would pay. I guess the military paid you. I guess you could. Never mind. Do you want a drink?
Nah. No thanks.
Okay. So if you get tired of what you're doing, I do know some of the guys that came back, and he just kind of motions off in some errant direction with the flask, and I know some guys that would do some training for stuff like protection, self-protection, bodyguarding things. If you need to make some coin, that you could at least look intimidating.
Yeah, I guess I could, Larry. So, who are these folk you're talking about?
Who?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, folk. If you decide that that's something you want to do, just come see Larry, and I'll point you in the right direction. He points in a different direction with the flask. Or was it over there? I'll think on it. Drink on it.
All right.
You want to drink on it?
I'm good. Thanks, Larry.
Sure. Have you seen Pig? And we cut to Zaylin and Rose, who went to the library.
What are we doing here? We just left here.
I know, but we have to go see if Ian knows where Robert lives. I have to go find Robert. This whole thing is going to be crazy. Maybe he knows something, but it's kind of weird he's not there.
That is kind of weird.
Where did he go? He's always there.
Yeah.
So we go find out.
Okay, so you go see Ian at the library. Your note, as you kind of find a little bit of space away from Bo as he goes to the money changers to swap out a couple of silver for some change to play some slots. Mm-hmm. You pull out the letter and you see that it is from Illahorn,
All right.
your old forge master. And it says, as you recall his voice, young master Felix, you should stop by the forge. I have interest in your survival. Signed, Hardly, Ilor.
Run, they have come for you, Felix. I know, they're outside the house.
And the airships go buzzing overhead, wiping the camera back to Zaylin and Rose as you guys walk up and you see Ian Cog's tongue waving goodbye to Dethane, and Thwampa, and Melishan. You guys pop up right in front of him as they've peeled off on the other direction. He's gonna. Oh. Howdy, ladies.
Hi, I know you were friends with Robert.
Uh-huh.
And he is one of my best friends, except I don't know where he lives, and I have to go and talk to him. So I was wondering if perhaps maybe you knew where he lived and I could go talk to him, because there are some crazy things happening.
There's a dress that he needs to fix
Yeah.
for you.
My favorite dress, my only one left is... He's the only one that knows how to fix it.
It's very sad.
Ladies, I'd like to help you, but I don't know where he lives.
Yeah.
We usually rendezvous at my place.
Oh,
He seems to be very secretive about that kind of thing. I think it's on account of his
yes,
demeanor.
that's true. Well, if you can, would you please tell him that Rose is looking for him?
Absolutely, and if you see
And
him
Zaylin.
first, and
And
Zaylin,
Zaylin.
Zaylin. Oh, that's right. I saw you with your card recently. Wait, I thought it was Flywheel.
Oh, must have been a typo.
A type. What's a typo?
I don't know.
All right, so Zaylin and Rose, I will let him know that you're looking for him. And if you see him first, can you ask him why he has never invited me over to his place?
Yeah, he never invited me either.
Right, but we do things
That's
at night
true.
that
Yeah,
you
no, I
probably
get it.
Go on.
don't- We do things at night that they probably don't do together.
Okay.
Like go for long walks next to the Dagger River.
That sounds nice.
It
Yeah,
is
nobody
nice.
takes me to Dagger River.
And you haven't heard from him, and he hasn't.
We only really get together about every other week, maybe.
He's a busy one, though. I rip a lot of dresses.
Right, I'm sure that's what keeps him company. But that's fine. I don't really care. I'm just saying. If you see him, let him know that I would like to know where I could find him on a regular basis.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm late for a birthday party, ladies. If you could have a nice evening, and I'll see you a little later.
Thank you so much. It's nice to see you again.
Likewise, Rose and Zaylin. Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Mm-hmm. And he goes.
She chose Zaylin.
He goes, huh?
That's the thing. She chose the name. That's her name.
Oh, so Flywheel was your Warforged name?
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Zaylin is my chosen name.
Right. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. So you look like you got Carnathy markings there. You a Carn?
She's a new woman.
I got no problems with it. You don't have to get all defensive about something for nothing.
No, that's where I'm from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that I used to be a fighter?
No.
Yeah. Let me show you something. Well, you actually look like you might take a little. You might enjoy it. And he starts to kind of undo a little thing, and he pulls back a little bit, and you see this long scar that runs basically from just below his nipple line down along the side to where his belt line would be. And he's like, "Yeah, that was a big one."
Yeah. Impressive.
I got caught with some shrapnel off of one of the siege staves landing nearby. Put a crater in there, cratered one of my Warforged friends, and I still have a piece of him with me. I suppose it is appropriate, but now that he's with me and I'm a man, I feel like I can just, say.
It's all very
got a piece of
confusing.
him. Yeah. What? No, it went boom, and I got some of it in me, and then it's still, like, it only gets so much out. Is that still confusing?
It's just the whole thing is so weird. But
We've all seen tough times.
yes.
Okay, what'd you do in the war?
Let's say I collected. I collected dead bodies.
Oh, you're one of the corpse collectors. Yeah. That's all. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but we all did things that we weren't proud of.
Well, I mean, you weren't reanimating the poor sods, were you?
I wasn't. I was just transporting things.
Yeah, so that's natural.
But she does not do that anymore.
No. Well, we all
Yeah, where would
We're all
you
doing
do
different
that
things now.
now?
Well,
I can't imagine the volume would be appropriate unless you're off there somewhere like the Lezar Principalities or
I don't like to
something.
think of those things. They're very sad.
Okay, I'm very sorry if I offended your sensibilities, Miss Rose.
She's very delicate.
Okay. Sure. I will then see you later, and we'll make sure to split off Robert's messages if that's the case.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good birthday party.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun. There's supposed to be a disco ball and a cake that somebody's gonna jump out
There's
of.
a cake and a disco.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't eat the cake after he's been inside it, but that's, I suppose, a prerogative.
Oh, that sounds like a fun time.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be quite fun.
Well, you enjoy yourself.
And he gives you guys a little he's like, walks off.
What do you
Now
mean
what?
you did what with bodies?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I could do the, we all did things we weren't proud of, but that's what I had to do.
Well, I'm glad to meet new you.
Thanks.
And I
but-
hope you don't do. Well, I guess it's useful. Okay. Let's go find Harmatio.
Yeah, well, now what are we gonna do though if we don't know where?
Well, we gotta go home. Maybe he's gonna. He always surprises me. So maybe he's going to surprise me again.
Let's see. I hope he feels better.
Yeah. We go home.
Okay, so you head home, and you're heading home.
Mm-hmm.
So you two make it back to the Wicked Lawn. You, on your way back, see Larry, but continue back to the Wicked Lawn. You're obviously with them. Lucian is at work. You have headed out onto the town. Tell me, what is your intention?
A mixture of chatting, kind of like social chatting with Paulie, and also scratching the itch.
Right.
Yeah.
How much?
Say I'm gonna play around with about
How many hands?
how many hands? That entirely depends on how successful they are or not, but probably a couple.
Are you gonna cheat?
Maybe.
Optimize.
All right, so you sit down at your first table at the Dirty Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me a insight check,
Okay.
and let's see how well you picked a table.
All right. This isn't gonna be good.
Don't jinx it.
Someday like today.
Roll the thing.
Sorry. 11.
11. Okay, you're pretty sure you've got a pretty solid beat on a hot table.
Mm-hmm.
You scan around and you see 4 other people there that give you a little nod as you walk up.
Mm-hmm.
What is your game of choice today?
Probably some kind of element of like a card bluffing game, I think.
Okay. So you sit down to play 3 Dragon Ante. Scanning around the table, you try and select your marks. You get the feeling that there are that 2 of the players are a couple that are there, kind of trying on the hand. The man looks like he's a bit more proficient,
Okay.
while the woman looks as though she's maybe a first time. He seems to be kind of placating her in a way. The other side is an elf who seems rather amused at the way these 2 humans are carrying on, and a surly looking half-orc who's just, actually he's a full orc.
All right.
He takes up a good bit of the table, and even his arms, like when he's there holding the cards, are rubbing against the dealer, like kind of pushing the dealer a little bit each time that he goes to make a move or to throw more money in the pot. It is a copper to get started, and it seems to successively go up a little bit.
Right.
The first pot, when it comes to you, the orc, the human, actually everybody except you and the elf are have folded.
All right.
The pot in the center requires a raise of 7. Looking eye to eye with him, you're pretty sure that you got this. on this one. But he also looks to have the same
Kind of attitude.
kind of attitude. Both of your cards, you look at your cards, you know you have a middle to upper hand kind of hand. But it is not an ensured victory by any means. Nor is it an ensured loss.
Okay. So
It's your turn.
how? Because I haven't really done this before on this spot. What sort of options do I have?
So it was an ante in for each
Yep.
as a copper.
Yeah.
And you can either, this is essentially poker.
Okay.
So, and it's 5 card.
All right.
So you have, actually it's 3 card. So you have your cards, he has his,
Yeah.
and the pot went around, he raised to 7. So there is, so there was, everybody anteed, one person raised 2 copper, so that made 8 in the pot, and then he put 7 down for his raise.
Okay.
So he's shifting fairly confidently in front of the pile.
I'm gonna take the pause and the prompt with other people, kind of as a way of looking kind of a little nervous with my hand, and like dart my eyes back at my hand and him, and then I'm gonna fold.
You gonna fold?
Yeah.
Okay. So you slide. You put your hands down on the table, and he just kind of grins at you and is like, "That's the kind of move you're gonna make." And he slides the coins towards him, and you guys continue to jostle back and forth. You're breaking even for the most part.
Okay.
The rest of you have made it home. The 4 of you. Are you gonna stop in to see them? What? He's at work. What about it?
Oh, this 4. I can't count. I didn't count myself.
It's okay. We'll get you some confidence.
Get you some coffee.
It's
Yeah.
been a hard day for
stop by.
Herman.
Okay, so after you guys make it home, shortly thereafter, he comes and knocks on the door and pops his head in and says, "What?"
Come on, inside.
There's something weird about that cat. I saw him go take the elevator up and he switched his jacket around so it looks like a lot nicer. And I followed up the elevator and then it was these guards that kind of looked like the same guard that took the girl. There's something weird about that.
I don't understand any of these.
I told you.
There's a crazy door. Cad suddenly says, "Yes, you can help me sort through papers and tomorrow," and then suddenly, "No, not till after the weekend," and now I'm out of a job. Can't find Robert. Why is Robert not there? He's always there.
Yes, Robert should have been there by now. That is true.
Well, he should have been there before it happened.
Yes,
And
definitely
this
true.
guy's not who he appears to be. And who's this Lady Hart person, and who do we ask to find out about her?
Did Cad say anything to you when you were alone in Latch's office?
Just that he doesn't know who owns the place, and that there's a lot of paperwork to sort through.
Did he say anything about who might want to hurt Latch or what is going to happen now that he is gone?
I didn't really ask too many questions. I just want to make sure he's okay. That's your job. You ask all the questions.
This is true. Although at any point, have you revealed to us what he said about Latch and the children? No.
Wait, what did he say? I don't remember. I'm sorry. Satine doesn't remember. What would Rose remember?
He just said that Latch was really good for the community, and watched out for the nearby community and the children and stuff like that.
Okay, I see. Well, he did say that Latch is a good guy. That, he was crying a lot. Like, I don't know why he was crying so hard. I mean, I love Latch, but I don't know if he has a deeper relationship with him or something.
Or he was acting. Yes.
I don't know. He's been very distraught, and he could have just left the whole time, but he's been dwelling on it a lot. So that could be a thing. He helps the community, and he likes the kids. But I went downstairs at Felix, and there was the door in the very back, and that one had the weird lock. There's no key, but it looked like a like a combination lock, but on the inside of the thing. I've never seen it before. Their other doors went to, there's like a wardrobe, and that's obvious. But there's like another room, kind of like latches. It's called green on the front. So I don't know.
Something that has been tumbling around in my mind. If this child was down under the building, how did she get inside a locked room inside of a club she should not be able to enter?
maybe
Did you
there's-
see any other way in or out down there?
The door I could not go through. Maybe that one has another door in it. Maybe it goes downstairs even more. Maybe this place goes deeper and deeper. It's probably. There's so many. The Sharon is so big.
It is true.
So let's go check the place out.
Do you know how to get in?
I don't know, but maybe Felix knows.
He's not
Not
here.
here.
I don't know where he went.
Well,
He
maybe-
walked away.
Maybe Felix knows.
So I'm gonna break a door.
I do not think. I do not.
There's a stairs on the outside, yeah?
Well, yes, but I do not think the night of the murder is the time to go and poke around in the
think he has a-
establishment. Though, yes, yes, we could look maybe perhaps tomorrow. Yes,
I think there's got to be some kind of connection with the orphans and the kids.
yeah.
There's something weird there.
Yeah.
Like they're using it. They're using the kids for something. I
Maybe
told
we
you
can-
not to trust them.
Maybe we can go
It's.
snoop around the alley and see if we can shake any information out of
Oh, like
them.
that worked last
It
time.
did not work out. She's the truth, she says, and she is still injured, and I am not a woman, you know.
I don't think I want to shake down any kids.
In the letter, it says something about a woman who,
Lady Hart.
Yes. Perhaps we should maybe. Do any of you know how to get in touch with Garland? He beat a fairly hasty exit, which I do not think the teenie is behind this, because why would her husband be at the scene of the crime when she is going to execute a murder? It is sloppy.
Who said she is the one that murdered him?
Yeah, well, they say if the new base is centered on him,
It doesn't mean that she's a bad.
well, Latch was telling someone else about the new flow of the things, which, but did Lucian say what this is for? I don't think they ever said.
I don't think it's a good thing. Yeah, no, don't. You don't need any more
No.
intoxicants
Yeah, true.
So where are you guys stashing those?
in the floorboard.
Floorboards.
Okay. And we will come back to plan making, I think, a little later when you have everyone available. In the meantime, Felix has had one or two of the free beverages that have been coming around, taking and sipping on them throughout the night. Again, breaking about even after tipping the girls.
Right.
And you now have a hand in front of you that is similar to the one that you had last time. You have, this time, only the man who is staring you down very hard, his cards folded in front of him, his fingers at a staple.
The man, not the elf.
The man.
Okay.
And his wife next to him holding up her cards. And you can see her lips curled into a smile on the opposite sides of her cards. In front of you guys is a pile of coins that she has just pushed into the center, essentially going pretty close to all in. The pot right now, roughly only about 3 silvers worth, but her portion that she just put in, and her seems like other, has yet to bet, has yet to call, but it's on you to either call or raise. What she just pushed in looks like about 1.5 silver.
Okay. However, up to this point, how have I been doing with, I kind of intentionally threw the
Yeah,
last
I know.
round to, okay.
You've broken even.
Okay. Feel like these guys are not as proficient, so if they've probably got a really good hand, so it might be safer for me to back off on this one again, and again kind of like just start like looking like I'm really kind of like worried about my hand and kind of like yeah, I think I'm gonna back off kind of thing.
Okay, so you fold.
Yeah.
You're down the copper for the ante, and then
When it comes back, she looks over to her guy, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, whatever. And she's like, ee! She like pulls all the coins to her. And then the next hand goes out. Roll me a percentile.
Okay. I have those. Sorry. Thought I had them out, but apparently I didn't. Oh, that is cocked. But I got 87.
Okay. So, as you go around, you can see just immediately the orc looks at his cards. You can see the elf gets his and just, out of disgust, his pile has been dwindling. The woman goes, she goes to like turn to her husband, or whatever he is, and goes, wait, is this good? And you see the dealer go, "Argh!" And she, okay, sorry, I don't, okay. And then you see the husband go, and everyone antes, it comes to you.
Okay. How's my hand right now?
You got an 83?
Yeah.
It looks pretty strong.
That's pretty strong. I think I'm gonna try and deceive them a little bit. Look like I'm still sweating, but try and just kind of keep in the game.
Great.
Yeah, and try to lure them a little bit, I think.
Okay, so everybody seems to call all the way around. First pass, second pass. You see the girl kind of look over at her man, who, and it's his turn, and he goes, he takes and slides a silver forward, puts his cards back down, looks over at her. She's like, okay, and she like goes and counts out very slowly 10 copper coins and puts them into the center, and then looks up at you.
Okay. I'm gonna so with this, I can either kind of call them, or I can keep pushing higher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's at a silver is what you would need to call.
Okay. I think I'll do the call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slide a silver in. It goes to the elf. The elf kind of like folds. The orc kind of looks at the coins in the table, looks at his hand, scratches his head a little bit. You can see that he's trying to do math. And he goes and he takes the coins, and then he starts to like count them out, and he looks over at the girl, and he's like, yeah, I call. You can tell that he's actually put in 12 copper instead of 10. And the dealer kind of clocks it to, and he goes, okay, 2 to call, 2 to call, 2 to call. And the man, so he drops 2 more and then throws 3 more on top of it. The girl goes, I feel like I should, again, what do you think? And the dealer's like, argh! She's like, okay. And she calls.
And now it's back down to me?
You.
Yeah. So, because Kai is not good at gambling.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not entirely sure fully what some of this means. So what would Felix know a little bit more about this situation? Because I'm trying to...
Roll me inside.
Okay.
And you get advantage because of the way you've been bluffing earlier.
Okay, thank you. Cool. Yeah, I've got more room there.
Yeah, you do.
17.
17. You're pretty sure you have a beat on the orc.
Okay.
He does not seem to really grasp the finesse of this.
Okay.
You can tell that he's not very good at the counting, so you're pretty positive he's not going to be counting cards.
Okay.
The girl's been a bit all over the place because she doesn't seem to know how to bet, but she hasn't really been at a deficit very much in the game at all.
Okay.
The gentleman with her seems to actually be the one on the most of the up and up, but and he's been slowly taking that money back from the elf, who seems to be getting pretty close to done. He maybe only have one hand left in him.
Okay.
But he is also not in this hand. You, looking at your cards, are pretty confident in your chances here, just in general.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cute that you don't know how to gamble. Yeah. As a gambling character.
I'm a role player.
Yeah, no, I meant to. I got you. I'm your DM. I got you.
So I guess I have an option to potentially try and like insure and maybe cheat. Do I see much of an opportunity for like deceiving them a bit more, or
your game of choice, like the cards that you actually carry and have, is the 3-dragon ante.
Okay.
And you actually do have a card up your sleeve.
Yeah.
You also have done pretty well so far with maintaining very neutral in your play.
Yeah.
So you can take your chances with what you have, or I can let you try and make the cheat.
Okay. We have drinks and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I would like to try and play a little safe here by maybe trying to like I look a little nervous. I reach for my drink and I spill it as a like to distract a little, and then I'm going to swap my cards.
Okay. So you start to get a little nervous. You start to count them a little bit, and then like kind of absent. Oh, and then you like do that, and you duck below the table, going to do a switch.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me your sleight of hand check.
Okay. That would be 22.
Perfect time to roll that. Oh
true.
my god.
Again, Dev null.
We'll see.
Blessed
we'll see.
dice.
It is a versus check, so.
You're good.
Okay.
You're pretty sure that you're able to get to. Oh, and then you like slide one of them out of your jacket pocket, push one of the other cards up in there. Roll me a. You have a D12. Roll me a D12.
I do. 2.
2. Well, your original roll earlier was an 87, not an 83.
Okay.
Your 2 is the margin you were able to increase your odds with the card that you had ready to go.
Okay.
By looking at them, you're like, okay, well, I'm up to at least an 89-ish now chance to win based on the hands that have been going through. You have kind of been counting cards.
Okay.
And so you do know that you've improved your odds.
Okay.
Maybe not significantly, but at that high an opportunity, pretty well.
Okay. So I'll be pushing to try and win then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So doesn't appear like anybody caught that. The waitress comes over, starts cleaning things up a little bit, and you start to. You gonna call?
Yeah. Is that the best way for me to try and push this to a victory?
Doing a call right now would essentially like get everybody to start laying down their cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you put in another, I think, silver and a half. They're up to 15 total for the calls. It goes around. Nobody calls. It's your turn to lay down your cards.
Okay.
You hear an exasperated from the orc.
Yep.
You see the man look at your cards and just give you a little wave off. And then you see the girl go, well, does this beat... Did you beat me?
Did I?
Yes.
Yay!
Handily. You beat her.
Okay.
As you go to rake in
Oh no.
the cards, you notice that one of the cards that you have is actually sitting face up
Oh no.
in the man's cards across the table.
What?
he looks down, sees the other one, looks over at the orc, and that's where we're gonna stop tonight.
The man is cheating.
Not necessarily. That could have been the card that he said.
No, I know. I'm saying for the bluff is to say that the man is cheating.
So, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I think we saw like 6 or 7 subs tonight. Like, we appreciate that, guys. Like, that really helps. And I know that we should have some new emojis coming soon. And I think that we might put up a little poll or have that be a thing that's on Patreon for people to vote for what they want. Either way, it'll either be directly for the subs to vote on or Patreon, one way or the other. We'll work it out to where maybe we'll do it in Discord, because we do have the Patreon people subbed out there. We can probably
could
work on it.
definitely talk about it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But now that we know that we're gonna have at least one more, maybe 2 more emojis coming, we'll see what kind of options you guys have. Maybe even let you guys put some forward. So we'll look into that. Does anybody have any announcements for the end of the show? Oh, raffle.
Raffle.
Look at the things we have for the raffles.
Raffle.
So all of you guys that stuck it out with us are gonna get to do. Yeah, you guys get a little raffle action here.
Thanks for hanging out.
Here we go.
Thanks for watching us. This is a very intense episode.
Yes.
I like it.
The
So
plot
many things
is
happening at
thickening.
once.
Yes. Although I do not like the Carne, the alcohol. I do not like
I believe you have a song that you like to sing in the noir style for this.
The raffle song.
I just had the one line. I just have a one line. Exclamation mark raffle. That's it.
Yeah.
Bow,
I'll
bow.
provide the jazz hands.
Yes, it is a burlesque raffle. Yes.
And Serena6504, who is a follower,
Yay! Thank you. Congratulations.
jumps in and swoops a. Were we gonna do just one of those to one person?
Two.
Right. But I mean, were we gonna divide them up, or were we gonna do both to one?
We were doing both to one.
Both to one. You get both.
Congratulations!
Congratulations. We will have similar raffle prizes, if not the same, in the next episode.
But they'll be able to find out what those raffle prizes are by following Inkwell Society on Twitter.
That's right, because we do also have some very interesting prizes from our friends at Tales for Candles Keep, like the entire game for free. Want a Steam code for DLC? We got it.
The champions code? What is
PG.
The things you give, the codes.
Idle Champions codes. We do not have any of those. I don't think so for
there's
this week.
so many.
Really?
I think
Wait,
you
did we-
accidentally loaded like
Well, I did,
4 of them.
but I didn't know if anybody. I didn't know if they got responded to. I didn't see them
Oh
earlier.
yeah, they
Huh.
did.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe we're gonna get a slew right here, right now. In the meantime, does anybody have any parting words?
No, just
Anything to
follow
watch
us-
out for?
Follow us on all the things.
All the things.
So it's Inkwell Society on Twitter, and then it's at Inkwell Society Show on Instagram, and then all of our individual handles. Follow us on all the things.
This week on Patreon, we had the watch of the live chat with you, correct? That people can go and see on Patreon. Yes.
Patreon.com/MazeArcana, and I also run a game that this season ended, and we are taking that game and splitting it into 2 different games. So I'm the dungeon master. One of the games is heavy fighting, that they just really like killing things, and the other game is heavy role playing. So if you guys want to jump in on the game, one of the games, go ahead and sign up, patreon.com/MazeArcana, and I'll take you through adventures.
Yes.
So, Satine was right. The Idle Champions codes had fallen into a box that I did not see, and thus, you guys will be getting quite a few right now. That one's for May.
Wow.
Yeah,
They
I don't
were
know
idle,
what happened.
idle champions codes. There it is.
Oh, I do know what happened for that one.
I'm done.
Yes.
I'm done.
All right, so gonna go ahead and pump another one in there too. So, you guys that were sticking around, not only did you get the Oh, look at that! Look at Haji has done multiple gift subs. That is so nice of you to do. That's we always talk about community and stuff like that, but that's like a really big 6. He gifted 6.
Wow, thank you so much.
Not all heroes wear capes.
That's right.
Sure, they can wear a cape if they like.
Yeah, also,
Right.
you can wear a cape. Yes, true. Zone
Well,
of safety.
I'm slightly taken
No.
aback, but thank you. That's awesome, and thank you for them. That's great. So, thank you guys very much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you to Black Magic for these awesome cameras that make us look great. Thank you to my wonderful cast that comes to hang out with us on the reg, playing some D&D in the noir. Thank you to Sirenscape, who gives me the awesome tunes. For any of you that are wondering which tunes I'm using off Sirenscape, I'm using the sci-fi and fantasy role-playing stuff as opposed to just the standard RPG fantasy stuff that you would normally pull that most people use, because it kind of has a little bit more Eberron feel. Thank you, Idle Champions, for the Idle giveaways, because I guess they are idle at the moment, kind of thing. I'm sure that Rachel will be sad that she did not stay for the whole thing to see those, but, go ahead and get those over to her if you can. Thank you to all of you that are making awesome fan art or just art in general, and I'm pretty sure a lot of that stuff's going to get put to good use here real soon. Does anybody else have anything else before I throw us out?
Celebrate International Tabletop Day this Saturday. Play a game with people that you love in a place that you enjoy.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Fantastic. And then the last thing that I would like to remind you guys of, besides what we normally talk about for Sirens and Maze Plays on Tuesdays, and obviously coming back for Inkwell on Wednesdays, is that we have a very special new show coming up that launches in 2 days. That's right. Any of you that have been following the social media for Maze Arcana might have noticed a new bit of logos and graphics that show Maze Magic News as becoming the new show for Friday. Not only are we going to be talking about the news, we are going to be talking about some really awesome new mechanics that are coming out, the new sets of things that are coming out, conventions, I said mechanics, conventions, lore, that was it, lore, and giveaways of card packs, of booster packs, of starter decks, and you're going to get to see our people open them. So, without further ado, we will let you go for the evening, but don't forget to tune in. What time is that at?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Pacific on Maze Arcana. So we'll see you guys there. Come and throw up some really awesome emojis at our peeps. Like that.
Yeah, it was.
We will see you guys.
M's for magic. I throw up my M's.
Yeah, there you go. We will see you guys next week. And maybe even some of us pop in on the Maze Magic News thing. Who knows?
Never know.
Have a wonderful Wednesday. Keep it noir.
Blessings upon your family.
And that. Roll that intro outro.